There was How Many More Times, based on Howlin' Wolf's How Many More Years, with a little bit of Albert King's The Hunter thrown in, as well as a bass line straight from the Yardbirds' Smokestack Lightning. Then there was Babe, I'm Going to Leave You, which was credited on the album as being a traditional song arranged by Jimmy Page, an arrangement that sounded very close to Ann Cretin's version, a version that was heavily influenced by Burt Lloyd before her even. Then there was Black Mountainside, which sounded suspiciously close to Bert Jantz's Black Water Side. There was discussion about taking Led Zeppelin to court over this recording, except that Bert's legal team wasn't sure that his version was all that solid as far as not copying that which had come before. Both I Can't Quit You Babe and You Shook Me were at least credited properly to Willie Dixon, but Jeff Beck had just covered You Shook Me on his Truth album and felt just a bit betrayed by Jimmy Page for including that particular song on Led Zeppelin's first album. And of course, Dazed and Confused, originally credited totally to Jimmy Page, was a song that was written actually by Jake Holmes a few years earlier. Later, Led Zeppelin corrected that faux pas, but it stood for years. But you know, for all the criticism that Led Zeppelin gets here from the critics, guess what? They weren't the first to do this. It could be said David Bowie ripped off the Stones with his Rebel Rebel, that the Stones ripped off Bo Diddley with their Not Fade Away. Page himself had already done this with McCartney and Rolfe in the Yardbirds, claiming credit for Drinking Muddy Water based on Muddy Waters' Rolling and Tumbling. Over in the United States, the Beach Boys' Surfin' USA sounded a whole lot like Sweet Little 16 by Chuck Berry. Jeff Beck's Rock My Plimsoll was a thinly disguised version of B.B. King's Rock Me Baby. John Lennon would complain that Bob Dylan's Fourth Time Around was a rip-off of Norwegian Wood, and others would complain that his magnificent All You Need Is Love was nothing more than a rip-off of Three Blind Mice. Muddy Waters would rip off Robert Johnson. A.P. Carter would rip off the entire Appalachian area on songs that were brought over originally from England based on Celtic tunes. To this day, he is considered the writer to Will the Circle Go Unbroken?